As a Sigma male, you're not walking into a room trying to be the loudest voice or the center of attention. You're not chasing validation, forcing charisma, or bending yourself to fit social expectations. Instead, you move through the world on your own terms, quiet, observant, deeply independent, and unapologetically authentic. And here's the paradox: the very fact that you don't try to impress people is exactly what makes you so compelling. Your grounded authenticity creates a magnetic energy, a subtle but powerful field that women can pick up on instinctively, sometimes even before you've said a single word. What most men don't realize is this: attraction isn't built on trying harder, talking louder, or performing confidence. It's built on presence. And Sigma males naturally radiate a presence that can be felt from across the room. It's not loud, but it's undeniable. It's the difference between someone who wants to be noticed and someone who doesn't need to be, yet still is. That's why today, we're going to break down 8 specific things women notice about Sigma males, often without you even being aware of it. These aren't pickup tricks, strategies, or scripted behaviors you learned online. They're not manipulations designed to spark attraction. Instead, they're the natural byproducts of living from a place of self-possession and inner strength. And here's what's important: once you recognize these traits within yourself, you'll finally understand why women respond to you in such unique ways, even when you're not saying anything, not competing for attention, and not trying to win them over. By the end of this video, you'll see the hidden patterns behind female attraction to Sigma males, and you'll realize something powerful: you've been unconsciously creating impact all along. Thing 1, your complete lack of desperate energy. This might just be the most powerful and magnetic quality women notice about you, even though you're completely unaware of it. See, most men unconsciously radiate desperate energy around attractive women. They tense up, they adjust their tone, they stand a little taller or louder, trying to prove themselves worthy of attention. It's not always obvious, but women feel it instantly. It's the energy of someone trying too hard. But you don't play that game. You don't need to. Unlike the men who shift their posture or personality the moment she enters the room, you stay exactly as you are, calm, grounded, and unaffected. While everyone else is scrambling to perform, compete, or outshine each other for her approval, you're simply existing. You're not chasing, you're not proving, you're just being. And here's the part women don't always verbalize but definitely notice: your complete absence of needy energy makes them feel something incredibly rare: safe. They don't have to guard themselves around you. They don't have to manage your ego or worry about deflecting advances. They don't have to play defense against the unspoken agenda so many men bring with them. Around you, they can exhale. That feeling of safety isn't weak, it's magnetic. Your emotional self-sufficiency creates a calmness that women can sense on a subconscious level. It sets you apart instantly. And the deeper truth? Your indifference to her validation doesn't repel her, it pulls her in. It makes her wonder: if he doesn't care about my approval, what does he care about? What does capture his attention? And that question, that curiosity, is the bedrock of attraction. Most men lose women's interest because they flood them with attention right away. But your restraint, your self-possession, and your lack of desperate energy spark something far more powerful: mystery. And mystery is what keeps people coming back. Thing 2, how you listen with your entire being. When you choose to engage in a conversation, something extraordinary happens, and women notice it instantly. You don't just hear words. You listen. Fully, completely, with your entire presence. Your eye contact is steady, but never aggressive. Your body language is relaxed, yet undeniably attentive. And your responses, the subtle nods, the pauses, the follow-up questions, prove that you weren't just waiting for your turn to speak. You actually absorbed what was said. And here's the truth: in today's world, that's almost unheard of. Most people half listen. Their minds are somewhere else, on their phones, on what they'll say next, on how to steer the conversation back to themselves. Women are used to that. They're used to men who listen only to find an opening, to impress, or to turn the spotlight back onto their own lives. But with you, it's different. You give them the rare gift of full attention. And that changes everything. Because when a woman feels truly heard, something powerful happens inside her. It's not just attraction, it's recognition. It's the sense of being seen, maybe for the first time in a long time. That's why women open up to you in ways they don't with anyone else. Your listening presence creates a confessional space: safe, non-judgmental, magnetic. They start sharing details, stories, emotions they might not even have planned to reveal. And here's the deeper effect: once they felt that with you, they subconsciously anchor that feeling of being understood to your presence. It becomes inseparable. You are that safe space in their mind. This is why your conversations feel different. They're not transactional. They're not surface level. They're not games of ego or performance. They're moments of genuine connection. And while most men are busy trying to talk their way into attraction, you create it silently, simply by listening with your entire being. Thing 3, your mysterious competence. One of the most magnetic qualities women notice about Sigma males is your unique brand of competence. It doesn't scream for attention, it whispers. It reveals itself quietly, often when least expected, and it leaves an impression that lingers long after the moment has passed. Unlike men who advertise their accomplishments, flaunt their wealth, or constantly demand recognition, you allow your actions to demonstrate your value. Your competence shows up in the small, unplanned moments. When something breaks and everyone else hesitates, you instinctively step forward and fix it. When a problem arises and panic spreads, you remain calm, assessing the situation with clarity and delivering a solution without drama. When conversations turn to deeper or more complex subjects, you can articulate ideas with precision, never overcomplicating, never condescending, just clear, steady intelligence. What makes this so attractive to women is the paradox it creates. They can see you're capable, but they can't fully map the depth of your ability. You don't reveal everything, and you never rush to prove yourself. That air of mystery is magnetic because it triggers curiosity. They begin to wonder, what else is he good at? What else does he know? What other hidden strengths does he have tucked away, waiting to be revealed? Unlike men who oversell themselves, exaggerate their strengths, or crumble when put to the test, your grounded ability speaks for itself. You don't perform competence, you embody it. And because of this, women instinctively associate you with qualities like dependability, trustworthiness, and quiet strength. They see you as a man they can rely on, not because you told them so, but because you showed them in ways too authentic to be faked. In a world full of noise, your competence is silent, and that silence makes it echo louder than any brag ever could. Thing 4, how you move through space. Before you ever say a word, women notice how you move. Human beings, especially women, are wired to pick up on subtle cues of body language, posture, and movement long before they process speech. And when it comes to Sigma males, your presence in physical space communicates volumes about who you are, without you needing to lift a finger. You don't rush. You don't fidget. You don't force yourself to take up space, nor do you shrink as if you don't belong. Instead, you move with calm precision, as though each step has intention, each gesture has meaning. It's not arrogance, it's not submission, it's balance. And balance, in a chaotic world, is captivating. Women subconsciously notice this difference. They see how you walk into a room without demanding attention, yet somehow, attention still shifts toward you. They see how you sit, grounded, comfortable, composed, without slouching into apathy or puffing up into false dominance. They notice how your movements are economical, deliberate, and controlled. Even the way you hold your hands or turn your head communicates a man who is in complete command of himself. This non-reactive composure radiates inner stability. While other men raise their voices, puff their chests, or scramble to prove their importance, you do the opposite, you anchor yourself. Your stillness is your strength. And that steadiness creates a powerful ripple effect. For women, this is magnetic. Being near someone who isn't rattled by chaos, who doesn't compete for validation, and who doesn't try to dominate the room makes them feel safe and grounded. Without realizing it, they begin to mirror your calm energy. Your presence lowers their guard, eases their nervous system, and builds a sense of trust before you even speak. This is why your physical presence can feel so much larger than your actual movements. You're not trying to project confidence, you simply are confident in your skin. That authenticity radiates, and women pick up on it instantly. Strength, stability, maturity, these aren't qualities you advertise. They're qualities you carry, and that makes you unforgettable. Thing 5, your selective use of words. One of the rarest and most powerful traits women notice about Sigma males is how intentionally you use your voice. Unlike most men, you don't feel the need to fill every silence or dominate every conversation. You don't waste words just to be heard, and you don't confuse volume with value. In a world where many men try to impress women with endless talking, forced charm, or a flood of surface-level stories, your restraint stands out like a beacon of difference. When you do choose to speak, your words carry weight. Every sentence feels deliberate, as if it's been filtered through thought and intention before it leaves your lips. This subtle but powerful quality makes people, especially women, lean in closer. They wait for your perspective because they sense it won't be meaningless noise, it will be something worth considering. Your words don't feel disposable, they feel like insights, carefully chosen and delivered with clarity and purpose. But it's not just your words that make an impact, it's your silences. Your quietness doesn't feel awkward, it feels alive. In moments when other men stumble over themselves to prove wit, knowledge, or humor, your calm stillness creates tension and curiosity. That pause, your refusal to fill space just for the sake of it, builds intrigue. Women notice the contrast immediately. Where most men's chatter drains attention, your silence commands it. This balance between speaking and withholding reflects something deeper: emotional self-control. You don't need to dominate conversations to validate yourself. You don't scramble for attention or approval. Instead, you sit comfortably in the quiet, allowing your presence to speak before your words ever do. And when those words finally arrive, they land with amplified power, because people know you don't speak without reason. For women, this is more than attractive, it's magnetic. It signals intelligence, self-awareness, and wisdom. It shows that you're not trying to manipulate the moment or charm your way into favor, you're simply offering truth when it's ready. Your restraint reveals emotional depth, your choice of words reveals clarity, and together they paint a picture of a man whose thoughts run far deeper than his speech. Here's the deeper truth: women are instinctively drawn to men whose communication isn't driven by ego. They sense when words are used to inflate pride or seek validation, and they sense when words are used with intention. Your ability to speak sparingly, but with precision, marks you as someone rare. To them, your contributions don't feel like just another opinion tossed into the noise of the world. They feel like rare gifts, moments of insight that linger long after the conversation has ended. That's why your silence is never emptiness. It's presence. It's awareness. It's proof that you don't need to perform to have value. And in a world full of men who talk too much or say nothing of substance, your selective voice becomes unforgettable. Thing 6, your indifference to social hierarchies. Another subtle but powerful thing women notice is that you refuse to play society's status games. Most men are caught up in unspoken hierarchies, trying to impress the important people, seeking approval from authority, or subtly dismissing those they consider beneath them. You don't do any of that. Instead, you treat people with an evenness that is disarming. You show the same respect to the waiter as you do to the CEO, the same calm attention to the overlooked as you do to the admired. You neither grovel to those in higher positions nor look down on those with less influence. This quiet consistency is rare, and women pick up on it instantly. For them, it's more than just politeness, it's proof of genuine confidence. It shows that your sense of worth isn't tied to social validation or external rankings. You don't need to align yourself with power to feel powerful, nor do you belittle others to prove superiority. You stand outside of that system entirely. This creates a unique sense of authenticity. When a woman realizes you're not bending your personality to fit a room, not trying to climb ladders or seek approval, she feels that your interest in her, if you show it, comes from a real place, not a performative one. That authenticity is magnetic, because it feels rare in a world where so many people change who they are depending on who's watching. Your indifference to hierarchies signals true freedom. You're not bound by external measures of worth, and that independence is something women find both intriguing and deeply attractive. Thing 7, how you handle conflict and pressure. One of the first things women quietly notice about Sigma males is how you respond when tension rises. Where most men either flare up in aggression or shrink away to avoid confrontation, you take a third path, measured, steady, and composed. You don't get rattled by pressure, and you don't let conflict pull you out of your center. Instead, you anchor yourself in calm awareness, observing before acting, speaking only when necessary, and focusing on solutions rather than drama. This is more than just emotional control, it's a form of strength that radiates security. Women instinctively feel it. When the atmosphere is charged, your grounded presence reassures them. They know you won't add fuel to chaos, nor will you abandon them when things get hard. That balance of calm restraint and quiet decisiveness is rare, and it makes women feel safe in your orbit. Unlike men who thrive on proving themselves in arguments or those who crumble under stress, you demonstrate emotional maturity. You show that you can face pressure without losing yourself. And this subtle demonstration of resilience communicates something powerful. If you can remain calm in external storms, you can likely be trusted in emotional ones too. The deeper truth? This steadiness doesn't just attract, it builds trust. It signals that you're not controlled by your environment, but by your inner compass. And that calm strength is one of the most magnetic qualities a man can possess. Thing 8, your mysterious inner world. Perhaps the most intriguing thing women notice about you is the depth they can't quite reach. Unlike many men who seek validation by oversharing or who lack any real inner life, you have a private, expansive world that you guard carefully. You're comfortable being alone with your thoughts. You have pursuits, curiosities, and reflections that don't depend on anyone's approval. This independence creates an aura of mystery. Women sense there's more beneath the surface, and that sense of unknown stirs their imagination. They wonder what you think about when you're silent, what drives your choices, what private passions or philosophies shape the way you move through life. Every subtle clue you reveal feels like unlocking a hidden layer, and the scarcity of that access makes it incredibly valuable. Your mystery doesn't come from withholding for manipulation, it's authentic. You genuinely prefer to reveal only what feels meaningful, and that makes each detail carry weight. Women find themselves curious, even captivated, because you don't give everything away at once. In fact, your selective openness turns ordinary interactions into moments of discovery, where every insight feels earned rather than handed out. The deeper truth? Your inner world is magnetic precisely because it is yours alone. By not performing for approval, you radiate self-sufficiency and depth. And that quiet richness, combined with your restraint in sharing it, makes women feel they've encountered someone rare, someone layered, someone worth pursuing. The deeper truth. When you step back and look at all these traits together, a clear picture emerges. You're not acting out masculinity, you're embodying it. You're not chasing attraction, you're living in such authentic alignment with yourself that attraction becomes the natural byproduct. Most men perform. They put on a mask of confidence, force charm, or imitate alpha behavior in the hope of being noticed. But women can sense the difference between performance and authenticity. They don't sit there and logically analyze it, it's instinctive. They feel the energy. They feel the calm steadiness in your presence, the depth in your silence, the stability in how you move through the world. And that creates a magnetic pull they can't fully explain, but they can't ignore either. This is why scripted, pickup techniques, or fake personas feel so wrong to you. They're built on pretending, on manufacturing something you already do naturally. You don't need to memorize lines, manipulate attention, or chase validation. Your Sigma nature already generates unconscious attraction without you forcing it. Women respond not because you try to be attractive, but because you are attractive in your grounded authenticity. And here's the ultimate truth: you don't need to perform. You don't need to pretend. You don't need to compete or chase. You simply need to trust yourself, to keep showing up as the man you already are. If this video revealed things you never realized women noticed, comment "noticed" below and share which one surprised you the most. And if you found value here, hit like and subscribe for more deep insights into the quiet, unconscious power of Sigma male behavior. Remember this: you don't need to try harder, you only need to lean deeper into who you already are. That's the power most men spend their lives searching for, but for you, it's already there.